back to another episode of Journey to Christmasland with Kira and Amelia. I am your intrepid host, Kira Davis, and I am joined by my good friend and resident Christmasland expert, Amelia Hamilton. Amelia, it's good to see you today, as always. Before we get started, I need to tell you, I need to warn you,
Okay.
I'm using a new ponytail today, and I don't think
Oh,
it's in right. So if it
okay.
falls out in the middle of this broadcast, my deepest apologies.
That went in a different direction than I was expecting. I thought you were going to say something about like the Canada USA hockey game or something. And I was going to be like, aren't we on the same side? I thought we were going to, okay, fine. I'm good with your
No,
ponytail. We're not going to have
but
to
I'm
fight.
glad you mentioned that. We don't talk too much about current events here on the show so that people in the future can enjoy it. But we are recording a mere day, right, after
Mhm.
the American men's hockey team beat Canada for the gold medal. Very exciting here in the United States. Not
Mhm.
so much up there.
Exactly.
They're
I'm still on a
devastated.
high.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. Well, I watched the women's game too, and the
Yeah.
women's game was amazing. And both of those, it was both overtime goals, and both of
Yeah.
those goals were like kind of dirty goal, like just like fought for,
In a good way.
ugly. Yes, just really like gritty, like all the like struggling all the way. So it made that victory
Yeah.
just a lot sweeter. I know in Canada, hockey is the national pastime. It's a national sport, and they take it very, very seriously. So we do not want to speak poorly of our Canadian listeners or Canadian friends. Or we want to say we're glad that we won, and we look forward to the next one. Because it's sort of a traditional North American rivalry. So
It
we
is.
don't hate that here in America.
No.
So congratulations to Canada, though, on silver medals. Although, Amelia,
Yes.
whose idea was it to give the losing teams stuffed animals?
Yeah. Well, they all get the stuffed animals. They used to all get a medal and flowers, and then they
Yeah,
decided that because the flowers die, you can have a little stuffed animal to keep forever. So it was in every sport, you get a medal. In all of the medalists in
yeah,
every sport, you get the medal and the stuffed animal. I feel like it's extra awkward in a sport like hockey. I can't think of another one that has these huge teams, because you go and give a sport to all of these, or a medal to all of these people, and then it's extra awkward the way they do it, because then they start back at the beginning, like, here's your stoat. Whereas even if they had just like had two people going along, like, here's your medal, here's your stuffed animal, here's
yeah,
your medal. But they're like, okay, now that we've given you all your silver medal that you don't want, here's your stoat. And they're like, whereas at least when
yeah.
you get your gold medal, you're like, yeah, now I got a stuffed animal too that, you don't necessarily want, but whatever, it's another prize.
Right. I
But
feel
you're like, I just want to get off the ice
yeah.
and be
I
sad.
don't think there's something especially egregious about it being a stuffed animal. I actually like the idea of having another memento, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, not everyone can carry you're not going to carry your medal with you everywhere, but it's nice to have something that you can, I don't know, put on a shelf, put on a coat. I don't know. A stuffed animal just feels really insulting. Could it not? Okay, flowers die, fine. Could it
Right.
not be a
Like
pressed flower?
right, or like a pin or something, like
A pin, a
right.
pin, a flower,
A flower pin instead of
a
actual live
flower
flowers. So, yeah,
pin, an
but
Olympic pin. It just feels on purpose. It feels like it's on purpose. It feels like the nerds who run the Olympic committee kind of like the idea of humiliating the athletes. So I'm no shade to Canada for looking completely unenthused, but
no,
as they got
'cause
their stuffed animals.
yeah, if you look at any of them, no, yeah, it's a
4.
yeah,
Yeah. I would
instead
be
of 30.
ticked like that. Okay, Amelia, before we get started today, we've got a movie to talk about today, and I'm going to let
Mm.
you set that up. But before you set it up for us, I thought it would be fun to read a little Christmasland advice and get your take on this. And we're also doing this on our bonus side as well. So this is a little taste of it, but we're doing an unwrapping series, and kind of what I want to do over there too is get into some Christmas advice. You're getting a taste of it, but if you like this, if you want more, definitely sign up to be a paid member, and you can access all that bonus content on the other side. Okay, let's see here. All right, this is a short one, short and quick. How the heck do you do Christmas with two sides of the family and your own? This seems to be like a very common Christmas complaint. Backstory, me and my wife live in New Zealand, so we have a summer Christmas. Christmas for us has been waking up, doing gifts between ourselves, and going to my parents for gifts with family, parents, sister, husbands, nieces, all that, followed by a barbecue for lunch. Doesn't that sound fun? The summer Christmas, that sounds fun. My wife is from the UK, so her family does Christmas in the evenings, generally arriving at their house at 4 and leaving around 8:30 after a roast dinner, gifts, etc. Long story short, it's etc. Long story short, it's exhausting. So he's saying we wake up and do this with my part of the family, and then we just have enough time to get our act together and go to that part of the family for the
Yeah.
evening. All right, we have a 3-month-old now. We want to start doing Christmas with and for him. Obviously, this Christmas is a write-off because he has no idea. But as the
Yes.
years go on, we want to be more and more special for him. Our problem is we will effectively be doing 3 Christmases if this continues, and we don't really want to do that. It's exhausting and takes away the fun. What is your advice, Amelia?
I think that is something that most families face at some point when you get
Mhm.
married and start your own family. I think your choices are I think you basically have to alternate with the in-laws, or you just invite everybody to your house and say, "We're having Christmas, come if you wanna see us," or like I said, alternate. "We're having Christmas at our house this year, or this in-law, or your family." I think you have to, switch it off or invite everybody to your house or some combination.
Yes, I actually have some deep personal feelings about this, and not because 'cause I'm caught in the middle of anybody. I have actually
Yeah.
managed to arrange my life to where I'm far away from everybody that I'm related to, so I don't have these particular struggles all the time. But I have a lot of friends that deal with this, and particularly when you get married and have a family, and I just have to say this a pet peeve of mine, Amelia. Parents, it's not your kid's job to accommodate your lifestyle. So, when you were young and got married, you realized you had your own family, your own life, and you realized how difficult it was to navigate all this. Why are you making your kid do that? You don't have kids. So you go to your kid that has kids. You don't demand they come to your house. Why? Your sterile, stale house that no kids live in and no families live in anymore. Go to their house. Ask again. He seems pretty, willing to host. He said they have a barbecue and stuff. But I don't feel that there's anything wrong with a young, particularly when you have a baby or have small children, with a young family
Mhm.
saying, we can't do this, but we want to invite you. I think the solution here is for him to take if you're not going to go, then you have to take the burden of hosting, though. You
Yeah.
have to be willing to have these people in your home. So we're going to host you. Everyone's welcome from all sides of the family. But if you want to come see the baby, we're here. We'll come to you for Thanksgiving or, whatever they celebrate in New Zealand. I don't know. But we'll come for for Lord of the Rings Day or whatever. We'll go. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people ask young parents to make all these accommodations when they're in the most comfortable time of their lives and it's
Yeah.
easier for them to be mobile. I just don't understand.
Yeah. You can also do Christmas Eve. We'll do Christmas Eve at your house, but you're coming to our house on Christmas Day. That kind of thing.
Get creative. There's no reason why again, I think he said at the end, I think he said it there. I I want Christmas to be fun, and it's not
Yeah.
fun. It doesn't and that's the point, right? If you're not having fun, then it's not a holiday, right? Like, what's the point? I know we have our family disagreements, and the Uncle Johnny always gets drunk at Christmas dinner and up the spiked
Off
eggnog
the
and says
eggnog.
something
Yeah.
crazy. But in the end, the holidays are supposed to be when you're with family. It's supposed to be a celebration. If you feel like you're not celebrating, change something and don't feel guilty about it. You'll be surprised at how quickly people come with you. They might complain at first, but how quickly everybody else will adjust once you just put
Yeah.
your foot down. All
Yep.
right. Well, I think we've solved this man's problems.
You
I don't know
fixed his
how he'll
life.
find our answer, but yeah, you're welcome, sir. Well, there's some other problems brewing in the Christmasland universe,
There sure
although it's
were.
not Christmas time, but we have chosen a movie this week that still embraces all of our favorite things about Christmasland in general.
Sure
Oh,
does.
and I know I'm talking a lot, but before I get started, I did want to say this, Amelia.
Yes.
Just for just for people, we're getting new viewers now, and just for people who aren't used to our vocabulary here, when we say Christmasland, I just want to explain to everybody, we are talking about the extended universe of cheesy Christmas TV movies. So we used to do Hallmark, but it's a lot bigger now, right? It's
Mhm.
Great American Family, it's Netflix, everybody's getting in on the game. But still, there are some things that are universal about the cheesy Christmas TV movie. So we call those universal things Christmasland, and that's what we're referring to. Amelia set us up this week.
All right. We went to Great American Family, and I actually thought this was a new one, but when I looked it up on IMDb, it's from 2020. I was surprised.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
thought it was newer.
yeah, I really liked it though. It is called As Gouda As It Gets. Spoiler, it's about cheese.
Guys, the puns write themselves in this
They do.
movie.
The puns are good. The premise is artisan cheese shop owner Brie finds herself competing for a $50,000 prize in her town's annual cheese festival. Actually, it's the State Cheese Festival, but we'll let it slide. So we've got Brie Bellinger, played by Kim Shaw, and Jack Wolf, played by Clayton James, which honestly, Clayton James is also a Christmasland name. I would have accepted that,
Yes, I'm also 1000% convinced that this guy is Tom Cruise's love child.
By a single mother, it says on IMDb.
Born in 1985 in Vancouver, so I didn't get the chance to try to do a deep dive into where
Where was
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise in
was
1984?
in 1985. But in 1984, but I would bet you in 1984 he would have been. That would have been. I bet you.
He was filming a movie in Vancouver.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. This guy looked like Tom Cruise. He's got that crooked smile. He's taller.
The
But
blue
he's
eye.
got that
Yeah.
crooked smile.
He was cute.
I thought he was very attractive. I actually really liked this guy.
Yeah.
I think I want to see more of him in the
Yeah.
Christmasland universe.
So yeah, one of the tropes that we talk about a lot is a Christmas-based name, a girl named Noelle or Holly. And I loved having a cheese movie and the girl's name is Brie. And it wasn't Bree, it was Brie. Like it was
I loved it.
Brie.
I loved it. So this is not a Christmas movie, everybody, although
Right.
this is a Christmas podcast, but it still takes place in the Christmasland universe. And so
100%.
all of those tropes are there. This is how these people live. So
Right.
obviously, if you own a cheese shop, your name is Brie.
Of course.
Of course. If it was a Christmas flower shop, her name would be Holly.
Right. Or like Daisy. Right.
If it was Easter, if it's Christmas, it has to be Holly.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we open strong. We are at Brie's cheese shop, which is called Brie's Cheese.
Amazing. I love it.
Yep.
It's descriptive. You're not wondering. You're not guessing.
Yeah. We are with her BFF, who is not black, but not white either. I don't know exactly what she was.
I did make a mental note. I was like, okay, the BFF is not black, but she's a brunette and ethnically ambiguous. So I guess
Yeah.
it counts.
Her name was Ashley, though, which is kind of a white name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And
they're all those, aren't they? They're all white names
Yeah,
in
that's true.
Christmasland. Like we don't really have any ethnic. I think the most ethnic, if you could call it, name we've had is Tuesday.
So, all right, Brie went on a bad date last night. So we got to get the download. She's given Ashley the download, which really the point is to get the exposition in there to get the backstory. So what we find out is that this is her first date she's had after her breakup. And so we need to know that, first of all, Brie had a bad breakup and she's kind of wants to get back out there, but also it's not a great time because she's really focused on her cheese right now. And that's what we need to know.
She's focused on her cheese like you do after a bad breakup. 4-year relationship, though. Like another one of these things. We talk about this a lot.
It's a red
How
flag.
these women are in these long-term relationships, and then it's 4 years is too long. We have some complaints about the time, the relationship times in Three Wiser Men.
Yeah.
Too long, but it's a serious relationship. And like most good bakers in Christmasland, she's focusing on food to get over it.
Yeah, she is. And 2 minutes in, we are hit with our first dose of Christmasland advice from Ashley.
Brilliant.
Prepare yourself. Oh, sorry. It's to Ashley from Brie.
Ho, 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 ho.
And she says, I don't need to go out of my way looking for a relationship. I just need to be willing to let one find me. Okay.
Yeah. I don't, what can you say? Yeah. I don't go out and look for it.
No.
Let it come to you.
Let it come to you.
Folks, it doesn't get deeper than that. I mean, a lot of people, don't go spend all your money on a self-help book. Don't take that seminar. You just need to sit down and watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Or a Christmasland movie.
A Christmasland movie. So here's what we also find out in this conversation. The Vermont Cheese Festival kicks off today, and she doesn't have time for love, okay? She is releasing her new smoked Gouda. She has been working on this for 11 years, and she has got to win gold and dethrone Lambert Farms. They have got a 5-year winning streak, and it has to end because winning would not only honor her dead grandpa, but there is a $50,000 prize, and it would really help pay off the renovations they've done on the store.
All
So
right.
that's a
So
lot to pack in
a
right off.
lot to pack in, a lot to pack in. And I want to say this, Amelia, they exposited this quite well.
Mhm.
I feel like we maybe need to start gearing up for giving an exposition award because
Mm.
I'm starting to see there's an art to it. Some people
Yeah,
just very clunky. I mean, it's not going to be super smooth, but we do
yeah,
need an info dump. You've got 90 minutes with these people start to
yeah.
finish. We need an info dump. We can't be too worried about it. I thought it was done well. It wasn't,
Yeah.
they didn't belabor the point. I got the basic rundown. And these two actresses, by the way, the best friend and our lead actress, I thought had great chemistry
Mm.
as best
Yeah.
friend.
I felt like they were friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
All right. Now we meet Jack, our leading man. He
Baby
is
Tom Cruise.
he is checking in at the local inn. Um, his website, he is a food writer, and his website is covering the whole week of events. Um, he is a huge, huge big deal. In fact, his fondue seminar is such a big deal that they have had to move it to a bigger room because it's like it not only sold out, but it was like standing room only, have to move it to a bigger
The
room.
fondue seminar was standing room only, y'all.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like the hotel check-in front desk guy was like, "Will you sign my book?" Which is Jack's book, Fundamental Fondue. I mean, this guy literally wrote the book on fondue.
And he's famous. It's not
Yes.
just that he is famous. He's like
He
Jay-Z up there in
he
Vermont.
has 100,000 followers on Instagram. Actual Instagram, not Christmasland social media version of Instagram, but it was branded as Instagram.
I don't like it when they do that. I
I
think
don't
they
like it
need
either.
yeah.
I also felt like 100,000 followers was an interesting number
Mhm.
for someone this famous.
Yeah.
But it
That's what AI thinks is a bit
it's like
lot.
a huge deal for a food influencer.
Well,
Um,
Amelia, I was wondering when he was like, "Yeah, I'm a food blogger or whatever." I was wondering if there is some kind of outfit in Christmasland that employs all these people. Like, do they go to
Ooh,
their own conferences? You and I met at a writers conference
yeah,
many, many years
we
ago.
did.
And that they used to fly us all over the country to learn, how to cover our industry and learn different things, this and that, network.
Yeah,
And I wonder if there is one like that in Christmasland for the food bloggers.
probably. It's probably, like, run by Santa, and they bring you to the North Pole, you
Mm.
know?
I smell a movie coming.
Mhm,
All right. Well,
mhm.
yeah, that's what I wonder. Anyway, baby Tom Cruise is a very famous fondue slash food blogger, and he's
Yeah.
there in Vermont with a cap,
Um,
with a page boy cap. I wish he would take that off.
he's
I didn't like.
stylish. He's
Is
got
that?
flavor of stylish. So, it's also really important to know, just setting this right up from the get-go, that his biggest sponsor on his blog is Lambert Farms.
Yeah. This is a conflict. It
So
has shades of B&B Mary.
yeah. So he has, like, a webmaster that travels with him, and I'm not sure they know what a webmaster is,
I
because
thought the same thing. I was like, wait.
it's really just like his assistant.
I didn't understand until she cracked a joke later about the webmaster, like something like, "Oh, I bet you probably send your webmaster to get the cheese," because she was being a dork.
Yeah,
Before she said that, I didn't even I must have missed that part. I didn't understand that
yeah,
that was his title. I
yeah,
thought,
yeah, he
not
said that.
knowing what this man's title is, I assumed he was a manager
Mhm.
or a personal assistant.
Yes, that
A
would've made sense.
webmaster should be in his pajamas.
Yeah, yeah, in his basement, yeah, in a home office, in his
Yes.
in his jammies.
I was like, well, like he was doing marketing, he was booking flights, he was
Right.
like,
So you're right. He has like either a manager or assistant role, but yeah, they did say right from here that this was his webmaster, which that's not what that is. But anyway, he asks him to go get him some of this some cheese from Brie's cheese. And he's like, no, I'm really busy doing this. I can't right now. So Jack goes himself. And she is extremely awkward. At first she doesn't quite recognize him, and then she does, and whatever. So he gets some of the famous smoked Gouda, and she's super awkward at first because she doesn't recognize him, but then somebody else does and wants his picture, and it's right next to his book. So she recognizes his face. That's exciting.
and she ran into like a Margaret in that store.
Yes. He's very Margaret.
Yeah, there was a woman and she was tasting all the cheese. Can I just say, Amelia, that I feel like I gained 10 pounds watching this movie. I was so hungry the whole
Okay,
time.
I love cheese, but this was a lot of cheese.
It was a
There's so much dairy happening.
I it almost felt at some points pornographic. Like it was just like, wow, this movie is an ode to cheese, not an
Yeah,
ode to love, an ode to cheese.
yeah. So he decides to do a review on her cheese, which is a huge deal because obviously he's the most famous cheese writer in America, or maybe the world. I don't know.
100,000 followers.
Mhm. It comes out that day,
Right.
which is
This
okay.
blew my mind. Do you people have any idea how long it takes to complete an 800 to 1,000 word column? Get it run through an editor, get it fact checked, get it all of that.
Right.
I am struggling
Get the
over 1,000
pictures,
words.
yeah. But he did
That's
it
for the
that
next
day.
day or next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that afternoon, he's like, "It'll be up this afternoon."
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Wow.
So he was
What I get from this, Amelia, is that I'm bad at my job.
we both are. So so he loved the smoked Gouda, which is what she is entering into the competition. But he did not love the goat cheese because it was too goaty.
I didn't know what that meant.
Well,
Tangy?
she wasn't into it. She really didn't either. She's like, "It's goat cheese.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?" Um So then he pitches a full profile on her. He's like, what if I just wrote a whole profile on you, like followed you around a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And she's kind of a jerk about it because of the goat comment. And why? This is a huge opportunity. He loved all of your other cheese.
Yeah,
And
I
really,
didn't. She was so upset.
and like even the goat cheese comment wasn't terrible. It was just like, this wasn't totally for me. It wasn't like, this ruined everything. What is she thinking? It was just kind of like, I wasn't as into this one.
And what he had said about the smoked Gouda, which she's entering in the
Yeah,
competition, is this is so good, it's gonna win.
right.
So I was like perplexed by how angry she got
Right.
about
And
then.
again, both of us work in a creative field. It is hard when somebody doesn't like something.
Mhm,
It is. I get that.
yeah.
But, you know, oh, but
But
he
but
did,
when somebody says, "I love this, I just didn't like that,"
right.
I don't know
Well,
that that's a cause
and then
for
but then he
meltdown.
also wanted to do a deeper profile, which is good news.
Right.
Now you have days to butter him up more. Take it.
Right, right.
But they did this whole thing where she made him do a blind taste test to see if he could name all the different flavors and,
This
before
is
she'd
where
let
I
him.
said this is where I thought to myself, this is becoming pornographic. Because there's this blind taste testing, and he gave this really sensual explanation for all the notes he was I know, that's what I was doing. I
Inappropriate.
was like, "I don't like it." And she was like, "Ooh," and then the girls were, like, melting over it. They were so
Yeah.
impressed by, oh, the savory notes of the cheese.
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know, should I be watching this?"
All right. So that night he invites her to some kind of a like a mixer, a reception kind of thing for the festival. And these things are just miserable. Like a networking kind of event. She didn't want to go, but she says she'll go with him.
She says she
And
has, like, social anxiety, or
yeah.
yeah.
And we find out that her grandpa was also a cheesemaker, which is why she got into it. And he won silver twice. He won a silver medal twice. I do not think he got a stuffed animal. Um, to Lambert Farms. They won gold, he won silver. They are also like the main sponsor of this event. And I do not blame her for thinking this is a big problem. That
Yes.
does seem weird.
It seems like a huge conflict of interest. How can you sponsor
Right,
the event and then be an entrant in the event? If
right,
you win, that's a conflict of interest.
right. Or even if you lose, I would wonder, like, well, were they afraid to let me win because it would look bad? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yes,
then if
someone
they
can.
win, if Lambert Farms is sponsoring the prize and then they win the
Are
prize.
they giving themselves the money? Right.
Right.
Did you actually get anything out of this?
Right.
Right. So she tells Jack, Bree tells Jack that Lambert Farms represents everything that's wrong with the industry, and he kind of stands up for them. And then introduces her to the webmaster, who is named Tim, by the way, if that comes up later. Tim, the webmaster. Um, he's just sort of there all the time. I don't know.
Well, it's
There he
black
is.
best friend. You know what? Hey, it's a black best friend.
That's
If
true.
we
He is black. He's the black
Yeah.
best friend in this movie. There we go.
He's a black best friend. So we always like to say that's one of our tropes. If you're new to this podcast, we have tropes that every Christmas movie does, especially in Christmasland and Hallmark movies and the like. And one
Uh-huh.
of our favorite tropes is how they tried to squeeze diversity into the movies. And they like to do that with a black best friend. We don't get a
Yeah.
lot of black leads, but we'll get a black best friend. So part
Mhm.
of our game is we always like to point out, oh, where's black best friend or black
It's
mayor?
Tim.
It's Tim, but in this movie, it's Tim, and that's why we said with the female lead, her friend, she's not black, but next best thing in the Christmasland universe is brunette.
Mhm. So Tim and Jack go off to deal with some important business, and Bree is left alone. And she tries a bite of cheese just on one of the little nibbles trays going around. It is so terrible. She can't even deal with it,
Yeah.
spits it out, and says to just some random man walking by that it's just like she hates it. It disgusted her like down to the marrow of her bones. And then she goes on to tell this guy that she wants to take down Lambert Farms more than anything, but it's going to be so hard to do because they're sponsors. And she's just like trauma dumping on this guy about how much she hates Lambert Farms. And then Jack comes back and is like, oh, I see you've met Maddie Lambert, which I think we all saw coming. But
Yeah.
why?
Well,
Like,
and to her credit and to the writer's credit, she did say afterwards, oh, I get, like, before she found out even who he was, she said, I shouldn't be saying random bad things to a stranger at a networking event. So they did sort of at least recognize that
yeah,
she's talking out of turn. You're just assuming you don't know who you're talking to.
yeah,
And as it turned out, she was talking to the person who made that cheese.
she sure was.
No, I'm so
Um,
embarrassed. So
Yeah, so
embarrassing.
she is embarrassed and he is pretty gracious about it,
Hmm.
to be fair, but it
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
He's a good cheesemaker. He's a nice cheesemaker
He is for a Lambert.
for a Lambert.
Um the next day, she's talking to Ashley, she's telling her about this networking event, and Ashley's like, "I think Jack likes you. This was maybe kind of his version of a date. He had to go to this thing, but had you come with him, he, helped you out, introduced you around." And then Matt sends Bree a cheese basket, and she's like, "Well, who sends a cheese basket to a cheese store? What a weirdo!" And
Yeah.
um,
I was like, could it at least be, I was like, give her something to complement the cheese, right? Like
Mhm.
jams or
Yeah.
wine or something like that. But
So then they go to so then Jack and Bree end up at a tasting event, and she insults his palate again. Okay, are you negging him? Is this a move? What's happening?
well, we did find out that she's a little sensitive because of her Opa. Is that what
Yeah, I think Opa,
grandpa
yeah.
is? Opa? Because I remember in Windmill Way, grandma was Oma, I think. So
Mm,
this is Opa, but she is a little like, I guess she is a little sensitive because baby Tom Cruise is representing the Lamberts, and
yeah,
they really did a number on her grandpa, on her Opa.
yeah,
And he's not, I guess what I'm saying is she is a little salty, and in Christmasland that's all relative, but
yeah.
she
Right.
is a little salty, but in her defense, he is the cheese enemy. He's representing the cheese
He
enemy.
is. He's
Yeah.
representing big cheese.
He's representing big cheese in Vermont. He has 100,000 followers.
He does. Um,
We're not complaining, by the way. We don't have that many, but I'm just
no.
saying, we're also not big cheese reviewers.
So after this tasting event, they go out for a cheesesteak, which is what you do in
There's
this
so much
town.
cheese in this movie, Amelia. It's well, I get it that it's a cheese movie, but I love cheese as much as the next person, and I'm lactose intolerant. Don't care. I'll risk it any day of the week. Don't mind. By the time they went to this point, Amelia, and they went out for cheesesteak, I could feel my stomach getting like cramping up, and like I was
And we've
like,
only
"Oh,
just
I'm
gotten
starting to."
started, Kira.
I was like, "I'm starting to feel sick. These people have eaten so much cheese."
um, so while they're eating their cheesesteak, she asks him a little bit about himself, and we get some more exposition. He used to be a big deal chef, and the problem was he wasn't making food that people wanted. He was making food that he wanted to make.
That's a big problem when you cook food to sell, you know? Usually
Yeah.
you like to make stuff people wanna buy. Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
been in the restaurant business though, so I don't know exactly how it works.
Yeah. So he does miss being in the kitchen, and he's like, I don't know, maybe if I get the opportunity. And she has some more words of wisdom.
Ho, 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 ho.
We have to make our own opportunities,
Girl, do you I
which true, but you also, if you plan on making money and making this your career, you also do have to sell things that people want to buy.
I paused the movie at this point just to absorb the depth and the magnitude
Yeah.
of that wisdom.
Yeah. I mean, I've never
Sometimes
heard anything like that before.
mind blown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind blown. Only in
Yeah.
Christmasland, people, only in Christmasland will you get this level. Some of y'all are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for self-help books and self-help courses, and all you need is
Yeah.
some Gouda
Career
cheese.
coaching, whatever. And I don't know if you know that you can just make your own opportunity, but
But
that's all you have to
there it
do.
is. I
That's all you
know, a
have to
lot of
do.
people don't know.
So then she tells him what her deal is with the Lamberts and why she's being pretty defensive and weird. And what happened was her grandpa had a cheese shop. And that's kind of like where she grew up, where she spent time with her oppa. And the Lamberts opened up a cheese shop down the street. And kind of like Amazon and all the other giants of industry like the Lamberts, they could run below market price and just lose money for a little while, undercut Opa's cheese, and they just ran him out of business. So he lost everything. And
Yeah.
that's why she hates the Lamberts, which, fair.
I mean, we saw that in Windmill Way
Mhm.
also. We saw that. We've seen it in everything.
We've seen it in everything.
Yeah, everything. So she's a little sore because,
Yeah.
yeah, Opa
That's
got
why she hates the Lamberts. Now we know. But they had a wonderful little cheesesteak date, and she goes to bed like.
I thought that was cute, actually.
And then they show her clock and it is 10:05, which I loved when they showed the clock because it was like, what time do you go to bed after a date in Christmasland? 10:05. I feel like curfew was 10 o'clock. 10:05.
Christmas land. It's 10 o'clock. I know we're so much alike. I also looked at the clock. I also looked at the clock. What time do you go to bed in Christmas
Yeah.
land after a date? And I'm with you, Amelia. I think that's exactly how it happened. I think she walked in the door. She doesn't have to take makeup off.
Mm.
She doesn't use makeup. You're just
No,
naturally
that's what she
beauty.
looks like.
That's
She
what you
wakes up
look
like
like. It's
that. Yeah.
you wake up like that. She removed her scarf and jacket and put them everything where it belonged.
Yeah.
Her pajamas were neatly laid out on the bed
Yeah.
as well as a glass of water.
Mhm.
She
She
just
said her
walked right to the
prayers.
bed, tucked in.
Yeah.
Ah. And dreamt about, and yes, that was so funny. I was like, you know what? Yeah, 10:05 makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. So get into bed at a good time, good rest.
Exactly. Um,
Nothing good happens after midnight. That's what my father-in-law always says. Nothing
mhm.
good happens after midnight.
Nope. You
So
gotta be in
no one's
bed.
out after midnight in Christmas land.
Mm-mm. The next day, she sees Maddie Lambert again, which obviously she's going to because he's here for the cheese festival.
Mhm.
And he makes a comment about, that some of the best chefs are at food trucks now. And they're all just like, okay, whatever. And we're supposed to just like pretend that That's not foreshadowing. So
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
also, like, the fact that they're like, "Okay, whatever." Even now, I thought this movie was new, but even still, 6 years ago, 2020, honest to goodness, the food truck craze is actually over. It's
right. Well,
actually yeah,
it was
we're
the
actually
change. Like,
past the
yeah.
food truck phase. Yeah, because all the cities realized, that they were missing out on a big tax base, and they raised all their taxes for the food truck vendors, and now the food truck vendors are like, "Ah, let's go back to a restaurant." So I was like, they're already years behind this trend, but talk in 2020 even, but talking about it like
Mhm.
this is some big secret. And then those supposed foodies are like, "What? That's
Mhm.
crazy."
Mhm. Yeah. So all right, so we've got he's talking about food trucks. Okay. And then Lambert he comes to Bree's shop and it's like, "Listen, I want to talk to you about something. Can we have dinner?" She's like, "I guess so." And he goes, "Okay, it's a date." And then he leaves and then she's like, "Did I agree to a date? Was it a date? Is that just a thing that people say?" And that's a whole thing. And that night, though, she's supposed to go to Jack's fondue thing, which had gotten moved to a bigger room, his whole big fondue thing. And
Right. Because so many people were
she
going.
forgets about it. So she forgot to go. And then she, so she's at dinner with Maddie and then realizes that she stood Jack up for his fondue thing. And he's like being a really sweet guy. He's all sad. He's trying to tell his webmaster that they need to start in just a minute.
Yeah.
She's going to
I
be
mean,
here.
he's outside, like, looking around for
Yeah.
for Brie, like, "Is she coming? Is she coming to my fondue?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Everybody's here, even the people who sign up to watch online, so they have to start." And so finally, so she's at dinner with Maddie, and she tells him all about her grandpa, and he's like, "Listen, I know that my own grandpa did some really unethical, bad business. I'm doing better, I'm trying to be a better guy than that." He seems like a decent guy because this is Christmasland. He's not gonna, do
Right.
brutal stuff like that in business. So as they're sitting there having dinner, she realizes that she forgot the fondue thing. So she's like, "Give me a minute." Goes, calls Jack, apologizes. Um, he gets it, whatever. He's also
I really thought
understanding.
this was gonna be a bigger deal. I
I
guess
did
this is
too. It was
but
sort of
this
like
is
not
American
necessary.
Family.
Yeah.
Right, and so it's a
Um,
little American Family has even less conflict than
right.
Hallmark,
Right.
really, and so I really thought that this would be one of our tropes, folks, that we always, look for in these movies is an uncomfortable situation that could be solved with an easy conversation. I felt like that's what this was gonna
Yeah.
be.
Instead, she just immediately has the conversation to head
Yeah,
it up, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for telling me. I understand now."
so they were that just grown-ups about it,
Yeah.
and then they just solved the problem?
Yeah. That's what they did. And he's
Crazy.
like, "Okay, we'll go to this, this farm, this dairy farm that she uses. We'll go there tomorrow." And she goes, "Okay, it's a date." And then she goes back and she goes back to Maddie and she's like, "Listen, I misunderstood. Like when you said earlier it's a date, she said, I thought it was just a saying. I didn't realize that you meant like an actual date. I didn't intend to be on a date with you." And he's like, "It was just a saying. We're not on a date. This is a
Mhm.
business meeting." So that I actually thought that was kind of funny.
I thought that was
But
funny, but I wasn't
like,
I didn't think it was that crazy for her to wonder. I wondered if I was in her position, if I might wonder the same thing, like, too late. Like, "Oh,
right.
wait, am I going on a
I
date?"
felt like
Or
they either needed to lean into it harder,
Yeah.
that it was like she thought it wasn't, and then her friend thought it was, and then so now she
Yeah.
needed to clear it up, and then she said it to Jack, and then, like I thought they either needed to make lean into it harder
Yeah.
or make it like that she feels like or make it more serious. Like she seriously like, is this I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought maybe what needed to happen is he needed to be making a bunch of what look like overtures, right?
Yeah.
In there, and then she gets more and more sort of agitated, and then finally like, "I'm not on a date,
Mm.
or this isn't a date." And
Yeah.
then that's when you get to be, "Oh, I didn't think it was a date either. I'm talking
Yeah.
to you about
Right,
cheese,
like, some of
not."
it could go either way, and then
Yeah,
if
they
he's
did
like,
they
"I
missed
wanna
it.
offer you I don't know," and then you
Yeah.
find out, like, what he's talking about is like, "Oh, I didn't mean that. It's this business deal that I wanted to tell you," some
Yes. Yeah, they dropped the
so
ball
I
on that
thought it
one.
was sort of funny or like they were setting up something potentially funny, but it didn't quite
Yeah.
land. Here's what
Can't
it all
see it.
comes down to. History is repeating itself. Bree's cheese is doing so well in town that Lambert Farms wants to buy it, just like they wanted to buy Opa's business all those years ago. And he's like, "Here's the problem. If you don't sell to us, we're going to open a shop down the street and you're going to go out of business, which
You
is
can't, because surely 2 cheese shops could not survive in Vermont.
on Main Street in this little town. It's just not going to happen. So she doesn't know what to do. So the next day, she's at the farm with Jack at the dairy farm, and he wants to start cooking with her cheese. He wants to make her a meal with her cheese, which is like the biggest deal. And
Yeah.
she's like, "You can even cook in my kitchen," because he's just visiting. He doesn't have a
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
And he says, "It's a date." And she goes, "Yes, it's a date." So we're all on the same page with this one.
Yeah,
Um,
doesn't she say something like, "Yeah, it's a date. It's a real date," or something like that? I
yeah,
don't know. She, like, reiterated at the end. I
yeah,
was like, "Oh, that's cute."
emphasizes
Yeah,
like, yes.
this is a date.
So now we've got Jack and Matt Lambert back at the hotel, and he says that his chef, one of his many Lambert properties,
Mm.
has quit. So he offers Jack the job, but he has to move to New York.
No. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jack's like, "This would upend my whole life. I need some time to think about it." Maddie's like, "Obviously, take your time. You have 24 hours."
Right.
Gas,
Yeah.
gas.
That's all you can get in Christmasland,
Right,
though. You don't get a long time to think about things because honestly, you're only going to have it. The timeline is short, and you're only going to have a day or two to think about how you're going to do this big job on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, or it's only ever
right.
due on a big holiday or
It
anything.
always
So
is.
the last minute is very
Or
important in
or the night
Christmasland.
before the big cheese festival,
Right.
which is
This is there is in Christmasland, the last minute is the most important minute.
right. She gets back to her house where Jack has cooked her dinner, and he gives her a croque monsieur, which is like the most amazing grilled cheese in the whole world. And she is like, "What is this garbage?"
Yeah, I was so confused by this. He made this great. I mean, again, Amelia, I was so hungry watching this movie all the way through. He made this incredible grilled cheese sandwich, which who doesn't love a good grilled cheese sandwich? Who doesn't love a good
Amazing
grilled cheese
us
sandwich?
with grilled cheese.
So he makes what looks to me like a fantastic grilled cheese with like specialty cheese
Yeah,
and rosemary bread and sourdough, yada yada. And she's like, I wasn't sure how to read the scene at first because
yeah.
um she opened it like it was terrible to look at, and it wasn't.
No,
She tasted it like it tasted terrible, but I thought, but it's grilled. I think
yeah, yeah.
this is a moment where I felt like an LA-based millennial wrote this, and somebody who doesn't cook grilled cheese or know the glories of, like, they're always in an LA cafe.
I
And
feel like LA cafes, like, there are specific grilled cheese cafes in LA, though, like,
yes.
they know about how good grilled cheese. I don't
No,
understand.
I
And
didn't.
she
You're
was just
absolutely
mean
right.
about it.
It just was a weird thing to be upset
Yeah,
over when, like, you're absolutely right, Amelia. You can go to a fine dining establishment right now and find an elevated grilled cheese on
which
their
is
menu. So,
fine.
but she opened it like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, but I'm going to pretend that
Yeah,
he made me something
she
good.
barely even pretended, though. She was just like, "What is this?"
She was like, and I know it tasted good, girl, because it's your cheese.
Right. And then, thankfully, he's like, "No, I'm just kidding. That's not your real dinner," and brought her a gourmet dish. But I'm like, what if he didn't? Because also you don't deserve it. But
Yes.
what was that whole I did not like the way she behaved. I wouldn't have given her the other dish.
I thought it was so, but then he set it up like that too. He thought it was funny too. You know what? I'm
But it was
starting to feel
supposed to
very
be a
offended.
joke, so okay.
I would be offended if a man cooked me a grilled cheese sandwich that looked that great and then pulled it away from
I
me.
know. I didn't want the oth I liked the grilled cheese better than the one that he made her than the dinner he made her for real. I'd be like, "Please bring me
Yeah.
back the grilled cheese."
No, I didn't want the chicken.
No.
I didn't want the
I
fancy
think there was
chicken.
chicken in the grilled cheese. But, like, get this
Yeah.
other fancy thing away from me. I want the grilled cheese.
Yes, and the grilled cheese looked great. This was like a real, I don't know if this is like a cultural difference or whatever between the writers and the audience, right? 'Cause I feel like the audience, we were all like, "Yeah, dang, that looks really good." And but the whole scene was set up like we were supposed to be embarrassed that he was feeding her grilled cheese.
Yeah. Even if it didn't look good, her reaction was spoiled brat, and I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it either. And again, it totally confused me. Like I had to put the scene together. Oh, she thinks grilled cheese is like a cheap meal or something or a bad meal. I mean, it took me a minute. What a bizarre thing. Anyway,
Yeah. She ends up telling him about the offer from Matt Lambert, and, he tells her about the chef thing, and he says he's thinking about it, and so she straight kicks him out of the house.
yeah, yeah. Again, another thing like the cheese review, right? Where it's like, is this an overreaction? Like, I feel like everybody's emotions are misplaced in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, when you should be bigger, you're not. And when you should be
Right.
smaller, you're bigger. I just don't
And you're
get it.
taking things out on the wrong people,
Right.
and also you've known Jack for like 3 days. He doesn't
Right.
need to plan his career around you, but okay.
Right. Right. Right.
So, Jack is talking to Tim about it, and Tim is like, that you wouldn't be happy working for Lambert Farms. So that's some solid black best friend advice.
Hmm.
You don't want to be stuck in one kitchen. You like being able to travel with your blog, experiencing all these different things. Good. That's solid advice from someone
Hmm.
who actually knows him.
Hmm.
Good.
His webmaster.
His webmaster.
Yeah.
So now Lambert and Brie are at the food truck at the same time. They're not together, but they're there at the same time getting mac and cheese with her cheese in it. And so she tells him she does not accept his offer. And, he's like, okay, but I'm opening up a shop down the street. And she says that if she wins gold at this festival, her shop will be able to stay open because it will be the shop that won gold. And
Right.
no, I mean, let me tell. Okay, I don't know a lot about the cheese business,
Hmm.
so maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know a lot about the food business. I do know a little bit about marketing and content and stuff. I don't think that's gonna give. I think that'll give you a little bump for like a week.
Right. I think
That's
it'll help you
not.
get your renovations done.
That is,
That's it.
yeah. That is not gonna help you beat out like
Yeah.
the
That's not
brand
the
that owns that
Right. It's
market
not the same
share.
as bringing in customers. You're just, I'm gonna pay my mortgage this month and get the renovations done. It's like in Merry Gentlemen when they were just doing all that work just to pay the back rent.
Right now, what are you gonna do
Shouldn't you
for
buy
the
the
rent
building?
coming up?
Yeah. You haven't solved the problem. There's still more rent.
Right, you got to zero.
It's the same
And
thing.
right. Even if that pays for the renovations, yeah, now how are you gonna actually run the business?
Right. I was
But
so confused, but okay,
I was like,
whatever.
I don't think that winning the state gold medal for cheese is gonna
It's like the
I don't think
yeah.
that's gonna help you beat Lambert Farms
Yeah,
in the
that's not
long
the
term.
blueprint for like a prosperous business domination of your marketing field.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think that's it.
that's kind of the look he gave her. He was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But, okay, Brie.
Okay, Bree.
So now she is back at Brie's Cheese, giving her live stream tour. And or giving her tour, and one
Mhm.
lady is live streaming. She's like the Margaret of,
Yeah, from Biltmore.
from Biltmore Christmas. There was a
Mhm.
character named Margaret, and she's
A
this
very
lady's
eager side character, eager
yeah.
beaver.
And so she takes her into the little cave where she's aging. I mean, cave, it's a back room of the store where she's aging her famous Gouda for tomorrow. And she's like, if the humidity is off, if the temperature is off, everything will go wrong. Everything will be terrible. And this lady is live streaming and she backs into the thermostat and turns it off. Brie doesn't check. There's no alarm.
Yeah.
I see in a lot of like stores and just public spaces where there's like a little cover, on the thermostat with, so nobody can change it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And when the last person leaves, she just turns the light off and shuts the door. Doesn't check
She didn't go back,
anything.
check. Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. Then
And then
this
just
is
goes and then and this is like the middle of the day. She doesn't check it at the end of the night. She's been
yeah,
aging this. I don't think I mentioned this, but she's been aging this for is it 4 years or 5? But years. And
years.
it all comes down to tomorrow. She doesn't
Yes, this is the
she
cheese
feels like
she's gonna
someone
enter
she's like, "She's
into
gonna enter
the
tomorrow."
contest so she can stay open ostensibly and save her entire business,
Right.
and she doesn't check on that temperature.
She seems
What?
like someone who would have like a little app so she could be looking at it all day.
Yes,
'Cause
and
she
like you
obviously can't be
said
opening the door all the time or that would mess it up.
but like you said, or at least an alarm, like, for people who do this type of work, like, or if you're an artist or art restorer maybe, and you have delicate documents and stuff, and they have to be vacuum sealed, like, I'm sure they have all kinds of alarms and
Yeah.
systems
At the
to
very least, have a thermometer with a cover on it so somebody doesn't back into it.
at the
Or
very least.
don't let people in the room. Just
Or
say,
don't
"Here's where I'm aging the stuff, but I can't open the
yes.
door because it's temperature controlled." Like,
That's actually probably what should have happened, right? It's
It was
temperature controlled,
so
and this
good.
cheese is worth $50,000 that's in this fridge right now, so
Yeah,
we're
you
just
can
gonna peek
taste
through
it.
the
You can sample
window.
it tomorrow at the festival.
Yes, you
She
can
did none
sample
of
it
these things.
tomorrow.
She did
I'm
none of
sorry,
it.
Brie, I like you, but I think you got what you deserved.
Yeah.
Like
I
you asked for.
don't know if you have what it takes to beat Lambert Farms in the long term.
No, I don't think she's Lambert Farms material.
So, so she goes, like, in the middle of the night, I guess, and checks on her cheese, and it's all, like, caved in. The texture's horrific. It's, like, melted. The taste is, I guess, still okay, but it's, like, it's not right at all.
Yeah,
So she calls Jack and and asks him to come over. And keep in mind, the last time she saw him, she kicked him out of the house.
right.
But he's still a good guy. He's still a guy you can count on. So he comes over again. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and he gives her the profile he wrote on a thumb drive. I don't know why it's on a thumb drive. Who does that? You just email it
Yeah.
to her, airdrop
I
it.
get
I don't
well, it
know.
was 2020, maybe it made
Oh, I
more
guess,
sense
but
then.
still, were we? I guess maybe. I don't think we
I
were.
don't know,
Okay,
I don't know, I
sure.
hardly I've been so traumatized since 2020, I don't really remember 2020.
So she's also talking to Ashley, and she's like, maybe I should just sell it to them. Like, this, we're done. We are toast. This cheese is not gonna win. And Ashley goes, no, don't sell it. Make them take it. And also tell Jack how you feel. So two things. Yes, sure, tell Jack how you feel, but make them take it. Like, th- you're gonna lose all your money. If you sell
Yeah.
it to them, you get money.
Well, as we've established in Christmasland with our, we've even named an award after this gentleman, but as we've established, oftentimes people, it's the people with the good business sense who are villainized, and the
Mhm.
people who own the businesses or want to own the businesses are the ones who don't seem to understand how capitalism works. And so we do need a business school at Christmasland.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Run by Robert Barron.
Run by Robert A. Barron.
So they've kind of given up, and um, you know what? I skipped ahead. I missed something.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go on for a second.
Yeah.
I just want to say really quickly that when they were at that farm, the cheese farm before,
Mhm.
they were getting ready for the cheese ball.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I said
and Jack
brilliant.
and Jack was like, "This looks like fun." Brie was like, "It does not look like fun." But she recognized that Jack thought it looked fun, so she actually had him over to apologize before this whole cheese debacle. And when he came over to, like, talk to her, that's when she apologized. She's all dressed up, and they danced, like, in her living room.
Oh, yeah.
They were about to kiss, and this is when Ashley busts in and is like, "The cheese is
The
ruined."
cheese,
And
yes.
that's how she found out.
I'm
So
so glad you
I
brought
messed
this
that
up.
up.
I'm so glad you brought that part up, though. I forgot too. 2 things I noted about this scene. She looked so modest, and he looked at
Mhm.
her like she was so pretty, and I thought, beautiful, you know? It wasn't it's not in the clothing or the dresses. He felt she wasn't in her apron, and she put in a little effort, and he gave her a look like she's so beautiful, even though it
Yeah,
wasn't this ball gown princess moment. So I always appreciate the modesty
yeah.
in movies like this, and the slow burn to love.
So they've realized that there is one thing they can do. They had sold a bunch of the good cheese. And I don't completely understand this because obviously once it's sold, it's not temperature controlled anymore. So
Mhm.
I don't know why that doesn't go bad. But this is cheese science that is beyond me. So I'm
Okay,
just going
yeah.
to accept it.
It's above our pay grade,
Yeah.
Amelia.
So I'm just accepting it. So they're like, hey, the Margaret lady bought 2 pounds of this stuff earlier. We're going to go to the hotel. We are going to stalk this woman, get some cheese back, enter it in the contest tomorrow. So they go to the front desk lady or the front desk guy. And this was the guy who wanted his picture with Jack earlier, who wanted his autograph. Huge fan at the front desk. And
Mhm.
they're like, we we need the name of this lady, she has all the cheese, blah blah. He knows exactly who they mean, but he's like, we can't just tell you some guest name and room number. And they're like,
Tickled me.
free cheese. He's like, she's in room 309
I
right
know,
now.
I like it. I would totally sell out my customers for a wheel of Brie cheese. Absolutely. He did the
Yeah.
right thing.
So I kind of like, I loved him. He was like, here's her name and room number. So they go up there and they're like, listen. And then she starts fangirling. She's like, Brie and Jack are at my door. And they are like, listen, huge cheese emergency. We need some of that Gouda back. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I ate it. And they're like, totally fine. We just need some of it back. And we know you got 2 pounds. We just need some of it back. She's like, no, I ate it. And they're like, okay, well, just like whatever we can get back. She's like, I ate all of it. They're like, it was
They
two
were like,
pounds.
"All of it?
She's
It
like,
was
I
2
ate it.
pounds."
So
She's
she
like,
ate 2 pounds of smoked Gouda today.
We listen and we don't
We
judge."
listen and we don't judge. So they're like, wow. Okay, so here's where she calls Jack in the middle of the night. She has thought of a loophole, but she needs his help. Jack to the rescue. He's here. They are going to make fondue.
I didn't
And
see
he's
it
like,
coming.
I don't know if that's legal. She's like, listen, there's nothing in the rules. So here's the deal. It's going to be perfect because it's still going to taste exactly like my Gouda.
Mhm,
It just is a different consistency because the only problem with my cheese, it won't win because it's a terrible consistency for Gouda.
mhm,
But if we
right.
melt it down, it can be perfect consistency for fondue plus my flavor. It's going to be great. And he's like, I don't have a recipe for Gouda, but if we work together.
We have a
So
few hours left in the middle of this night, we'll go to the kitchen, cue up the
I was
montage.
going to say, we're going to do it in a montage.
Hey, I was there for it, loved
I
it.
was, and they did it. So
Again,
once,
another scene that made me very hungry.
once again, as they get it ready, they get it perfect, they go in for the kiss, but no, it's 8:50. Judging starts in 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Cue the mad dash. They run there with a pot of fondue. It reminded me of
Between them.
Kevin in the office with his chili.
It's like, and they were running. They were holding it together and running. I'm like, there is hot cheese in this.
Yeah.
I was like, if this were Lifetime, they would fall.
Yeah. So she submits her fondue, and the judges are like, "Can we? Can we do it? Is this allowed?" So they're like, "We must confer," and all the judges get together, like whispering, talking.
Yeah, I
Judging.
so we didn't mention this guy, but I'm actually kind of a fan of this
Mhm.
front desk. He's not the front desk guy, but he's the concierge or whatever, the hotel
Yeah.
concierge. He's got this mop of curly hair. He does not look like he should be the concierge at a fancy hotel. His hair is far too unkempt for it, but this actor sunk his teeth into it and just the right amount of haughtiness. And so when they're conferring and going over these rules, he walks
It
over.
was like a Word doc on the screen, and they're like, "Here are the rules."
No, he walks over and he points at them, pointing at the screen. He
Yeah.
points at the screen and he just randomly moves his like, I'm looking at a rule. I'm looking at a rule. And he goes, I swear, he's like, murmur, 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 murmur. I think that's what he said. I think he literally said murmur, 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 murmur.
Murmur,
Like
murmur.
that.
They're like, just go murmur something while you look at the rules.
Like,
Okay.
murmur, murmur, murmur. Anyways, it was so hilarious, but that was them, looking
good.
for the rules. Yeah.
But there's nothing in the rules. I bet they're going to put something in the rules next year, but she got through. This is
Mhm.
another one for Christmasland Court, I think. Is it allowed?
Yeah.
And guess what, everybody? She wins gold.
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either.
Brilliant pivot.
So now she is flying high. She's on cloud 9. She's feeling like a winner. So she takes all of her winning spirit and gumption and offers Maddie Lambert a twist on his offer. She's like, listen, I am going to keep my store open, but I will sell Lambert cheese at Brie's Cheese. Instead of his offer was to have a Lambert store where they would sell Brie's cheese.
Right.
And he's like, it's so crazy. It just might work. Obviously, my board would have no problem with it.
I didn't understand. I thought it was so weird. Why would he sell the cheese in your store if he's got a store? Why doesn't he just sell the cheese? I would not go to your store to get Lambert Farms cheese. If I was going to Lambert Farms for whatever else I go there for, I would buy the cheese there.
Well, he's not going to open a store anymore. He's just going to,
Right. Oh.
he's not opening a store. He's just going to sell all the Lambert cheese at Brie's store.
Okay, I didn't get this. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I thought he was still keeping the store open, which really confused me because I was like, what kind of compromises?
No, she's just going
But
to carry Lambert products in her store.
Okay, this is even worse. This is even worse. So her her plan is for like, "I have a great twist for you. Don't open the store that's gonna make you multi-millions of dollars, and put me out of business. Just sell your cheese, nothing else, none of the other myriad of products you produce." But
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's gonna sell other products and it would, like, get people in her store, but, like, I assume there are no other products that would compete with hers, so it gets
I
them
don't
in the
know, it was a
door. I don't
bizarre compromise that had
know.
nothing to do with business.
No, no, but he's like, "I'll take it to the board. I think they're gonna love it." Are
No,
they? Are they?
I don't know, I'm gonna feel like the board's gonna be like, "What?"
Also, Jack has a new idea too. He also said no to Lambert and has an idea that his board is gonna love,
Let me
which
guess.
is he is opening a food truck for
Shut
fondue.
up. Shut
Nobody
up.
wants a fondue food truck. That is not a food truck food.
No. Fondue
Oh,
is not a
and
food
it's
truck
obviously gonna
food.
use Brie's cheese. But
Fu No, we food truck food, you fundamentally, it has to be hands
yeah.
easy to do with hands, right? So it's like burgers or tacos or Chinese any if it's convenient to carry around in a small container or you eat it with your hands. You it's a social activity. You do it around a table,
Yeah.
at a party.
Right.
Okay, well,
Yes.
you know what? Whatever. Maybe there is a big demand for fondue food trucks in Vermont.
So he says, "All that's missing is you." And I wrote down, "How?"
Because he loves her.
So they kiss finally, and that is the end. And I am Googling fondue food truck.
Okay. I'm waiting to find
Apparently
out.
there are some.
Oh, wow, okay.
Um, they provide experiences for events, weddings, and breweries. That just doesn't seem like it says it's a niche market.
Yeah.
Focusing on booked events, which makes more sense.
So you're
Like
not pulling up to, like, the street
just like to
corner at
grab lunch,
noon.
or like when you're out for a night of drinking, you're gonna get some fondue before while you're
No.
waiting for your Uber.
No, that is the most ridiculous thing
But it's
ever, a
so
fondue
dumb. I
food
don't
truck.
want it at a wedding either. Everybody's gonna like drip cheese on themselves.
Right?
No,
I actually don't want, like, a cheese truck even. I was thinking, okay, maybe they could do a cheese truck and cheap, but I don't even want that because it's
no,
fumes and it's, no,
no. I don't like it.
no, no, I don't like it, but well, okay, whatever. I guess they're gonna live
Anyway,
happily ever
they
after. Well,
all
he's got a
live.
food truck, she's got a cheese store, Lambert Farms has whatever they have.
They all live
Um,
happily ever after. I guess
I
it
think
works for
so.
them.
I think it works for them. I thought this movie was adorable. I thought this movie
I
was
liked it a
absolutely
lot.
adorable. I did. I liked it a lot. It was super cute. I loved the leads. I thought they were so nice to look at. I mean, that's a big thing for me, right? Like, I want to this is a Christmassy movie and you just want everybody to look beautiful and happy. That's all you want. So
Yeah.
I love it when I see a couple. They look great. They look great together. They had good chemistry. Totally
Mhm.
convinced this man is Tom Cruise's love child. You cannot tell me otherwise. He is.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever watched a movie that was based on cheese. We've seen a lot of like pastries, there's been chocolate, there have been a couple like wineries in there. I don't think we've ever had one about cheese. As a northern Midwesterner, let's have
We
some
even
cheese.
had one, Five-Star Christmas was they had, like, the candy canes, that was a big deal because they're,
Yep.
like, the sassafras candy
Love
canes. We've
sassafras.
even
Yeah.
had candy cane,
Hmm.
contests and making
Yeah.
contests. Yep, but no cheese, you're right.
Never done a cheese one. So
I never wanna do another one again because I feel simultaneously hungry and stopped up. Like,
Mhm.
my stomach was, like, gripped with lactose intolerance, but my mind was screaming for a cheese plate. It was
I mean,
torture.
I want the grilled cheese.
I want that grilled cheese. I don't
Mhm.
want whatever that stupid croquette chicken or whatever it was he made. I don't want that. I want the
Mhm.
cheese, the grilled cheese. What a weird
I
scene.
want her to appreciate the man made her a gourmet grilled cheese.
Gourmet grilled cheese. A gourmet grilled cheese. I would have even taken just the Kraft singles grilled cheese.
Thank you.
Yeah. He made a gourmet grilled she was like, so embarrassed that he made anyways, whatever. Okay, well but the overall the movie was cute. We're not gonna go
It
over
was.
tropes because this really
Oh,
wasn't a
yeah.
Christmas
I
movie.
liked it. Recommend it. Go watch it.
Yeah. No, I thought it was delightful. It was a
Mhm.
delightful movie, exactly what you want from these things. Well, we have some awards to give out, so let's give those out.
Let's do it.
This is the part of our program where we dole out awards for the performances that we enjoyed the most. We'll start with the Robert Barron Award for Best Villain. Self-explanatory. Amelia,
Mm.
did you have a villain in this movie?
I think it has to be Maddie Lambert, who was a true Robert Barron.
A true Robert Baron. He had,
Mm.
yes, his capitalistic desires were inconvenient to the protagonists of
Mhm.
the film and what their needs and wants were, but he also understood business and how
Yeah,
it works,
yeah,
right? He was just telling them how it worked.
yeah.
He wasn't being mean,
Right, he did try to, like, buy her out before driving her out of business.
right? He was
Yeah,
just telling her how it worked.
right.
And for that, he gets, he gets painted as a villain.
Yeah.
I think the villain of the movie is the tourist, the tourist who
Okay, okay.
who flipped off the cheese switch
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
she
fair.
wasn't mean, but she was just greedy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it was just that greed that
Okay.
like our opening scene, she's hogging all of the cheese samples. Which is rude. That's just very rude. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
sampling it. You don't take all the samples off of one plate.
yeah,
Then she was just a bit obnoxious, but then I just thought it was very rude for her to be taking that tour to go in there after everyone's left, knowing how delicate this is, and this woman's livelihood. I thought she
yeah.
was very careless with her surroundings as well.
Yeah,
And
yep.
then she didn't even save any cheese for anybody. 2 pounds in her room at night. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of 30 Rock, Tina
Night
Fey, Liz
cheese?
Lemon, night
I was
cheese.
just thinking about that.
All she needed was her slanket. What is that
Working
what
at
they call?
my night cheese.
Anyway, Night Cheese Lady as my pick for, best film. Alright, let's move on. Next award category is Christmas Ham. This is the award that goes to somebody we thought was just sinking their teeth
Mhm.
into their part, going way over the top, giving it all they have. Amelia, who's your pick for Christmas Ham?
Front desk guy.
Yeah. You like him? Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought he was really good too. He was really good too. He's my pick as well. Front
okay,
desk
great.
guy. Yeah. I love these. Again, Christmas Ham is really that's what this is for the breakout performances,
Mhm.
where you only get a couple lines. It's a cheesy Christmas movie anyway, but sometimes you find an actor who's like, I'm giving it everything. I'm going to
Yeah.
give it everything. And I appreciate those people. Love those people.
Mhm.
All right, final award. This is the Oscar for the movie. This is the Christmas Tree Topper Award. Amelia, who gets your award for best performance?
Jack. I thought
Jack,
he brought it.
baby Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
Yep. I thought he was really good. I really enjoyed him. And I thought he was very handsome. And he has a very affable quality that I think it lends itself well to the Christmasland universe. I
Yeah.
hope to see him used more. My pick for Christmas Tree Topper would be Brie. I really
Okay.
liked Brie. I thought she was a great leading lady. She was very cute. In Christmasland, you want your female leads to be bubbly, and feel like you're gonna go out for coffee with them. Not every female lead has that quality.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just a pretty face, but I liked the sweetness of her, her characterization, and I thought she was a
Yeah.
good, yeah, leading lady. I just liked
Nice.
her. She had the look. She had the look. Sometimes you see that's how I thought about Tuesday in Tuesday's Mom's Books Clubs or whatever in
Yeah.
Christmas by Design. But I loved that actress as well. I really thought she just had a look, a
Mhm.
Hallmark look girl.
Yep.
So yeah. Well, I recommend this movie. I think it was fun. I think it was cute. I think you can watch it any time of the year and beautiful scenery. We didn't talk much about the scenery
It's
either.
true. Yeah. It was New England in the fall.
Gorgeous. You know
Yeah.
what, Amelia? Let's go to New England this fall and film something and call it a
Alright, I'm
podcast.
ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's pack our bags. Tell
Maybe
your
we'll go
husband.
find some cheese contests or something. Well, I mean, we can go find a little cheese shop to drive out of business.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe we can do that. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up, and then you and I are gonna flip over to the pay side. We're gonna go do some unboxing. So I want everybody, if you are not a member, we have ordered some gifts from a delivery service for unclaimed mail, and we thought it would be fun to open those things and then decide who in Christmasland ordered them. So we're getting ready to leave this recording and go open some of these. So if you want to know what might be in this, then I suggest you join us over on the pay side. Amelia, tell everybody how they can find us.
We are Journey to Christmasland on Substack and YouTube. We are JT Christmasland on X and Instagram. Also Journey to Christmasland on Facebook.
Yes, and we're really excited. We're like the Substack's really leveling up their game. We're really excited to
Mhm.
they just started doing live streaming, which is that I've been using Substack for quite a while on my in my other work, and I would say like that's very exciting that they're
Yeah.
doing live streaming. So we're definitely going to be taking advantage of that as we learn the platform more. Substack's our main home. You can
Yeah.
find us on YouTube and all those other places, but we don't do a whole lot of promoting over there. Most of our promoting is Twitter, or excuse me, X. I'm dating myself now. X, Instagram, and Substack. But there's so many great things going on over there. So definitely sign up for the Substack because we're going to be doing a lot more bonus content as well as just reviewing some other stuff. We've got interviews that we're trying to set up. Looking
Yep.
forward to Matt Hamilton. He's agreed to come on the show.
Yes, Mark Leclerc.
Mark
The
Leclerc.
actor who plays our favorite Mark Leclerc, Matt Hamilton. He's agreed to come on. We are working on some fun things though, so we wanna make sure we have some
Yeah.
excellent content with him.
Yeah, we wanna make sure
Fun
we're ready
fun
for him.
stuff.
We're not just gonna
Yeah.
invite him on some janky,
Some
some janky
generic
scoop
episode.
chatter
Has to be
scoop
perfect.
chatter show. Yeah, some scoop chatter feed. We're not gonna do that. Oh, but
We're
so
like
funny, Amelia, though, when I was looking up Clayton James to try to figure out if he was
mhm.
indeed Tom Cruise's love child, what do I come across but a picture with him and Hamilton and Mark
Stop.
Clark? Yeah. So they know each other. They've clearly worked together, I'm sure, in the Hallmark scene, but up there in Canada, I'm sure
Sure, I was gonna
because
say
Matt lives
also
in Vancouver, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So I think they're both from Vancouver. So I just thought, well, it's fate.
it is.
I just
All
made
of our
that up.
all of our
It's very
favorites
funny.
and, like, 2 of our favorite Christmas hams.
Two of our
Oh, no, he
favorite.
wasn't no.
No,
Yeah, 'cause our tree topper. I think but Matt's been a tree
no,
topper
Matt's been a
also.
Christmas ham.
Yeah, but they've both been tree toppers too.
And both tree toppers. Yep. Yep. So I don't know. Maybe we can have them both on the show and then we can get to the bottom of this
There
Tom
we go.
Cruise thing.
And I wanna get, Jesse Hutch on too to talk about how he got hotter on the rewatch and how like, how do you do it? I hope that we get
You have
hotter
to
on
have
our
his wife
rewatches too.
on too. We can't do that. Just have the guy on and slobber all. We have to have his wife on too, or
Well,
we're
his wife
weird.
on too to ask her how it feels.
Yeah, there you go. And she'll be like me because I also have a hot husband, and she'll be like me, which will be like, well, he still doesn't take the trash. And it's like, who cares? So, um, all right. Well, let's wrap this up because we have some gifts to unbox. So, Amelia, I'm going to let you go, but until we meet again, I wish you days. I wish you days filled with lactose pills.
Okay,
'Cause
well, I
my
can
stomach
handle
is still
lactose
thinking
just
about this
fine, so
movie.
thank you.
Well, you might need it though.
Okay, well, I wish you a perfect grilled cheese sandwich.
Ugh, I'll take it. And I won't complain. I
You
won't
can have my
complain.
lactose pills.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.